Welcome to Power Ranking, a show where you, the fans, get to vote on your favorite things in video games, movies, TV, and whatever else the internet is excited for. This is the fifth and final episode of our special IGN tournament event, Power Ranking Face-Off. Here's how it all works. Through our face-off voting on IGN.com, you, the fans, chose your favorite video game characters from over 300 entrants. These face-off votes provided a win-loss record for each character, which determined the overall ranking. The top 64 of that ranked list has then been seeded into our tournament bracket. We're now down to the final four as voted by you, the fans, during round 4's polling. In the fifth and final round, we polled across multiple IGN platforms to scientifically determine, it is pure and absolute science what we're doing here, which video game character will be crowned Power Ranking Face-Off's best video game character of all time. So far, we've had over 14.7 million votes for your favorites in this competition. In this final episode, we will be revealing both the semifinals and the finals voting. Let's look at how the final four bracket is shaping up. But of course, who do you think is going to make it to the top? Have your own bracket predictions been right so far? We're going to go into some of your fan predictions, of course, but before that, I'd like to welcome our Power Ranking correspondent, Josh Dew, back to the program. Josh, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I am very excited to go straight from the semifinals into the finals and to the winner here. Let's see what's going to happen.
Same here, Josh. Let's get right into it. Some of our audience predictions for who's going to move on here include Santiago S. on YouTube, who says, final prediction, Mario vs. Master Chief, M vs. M. We'll see if that actually happens because we'll be getting results very shortly. But Samus012 on IGN actually also says, OG, Mario is the best video game character of all time. That's their emphasis, not mine.
Why isn't
Mario,
their username Mario012 then? It's Samus
right?
012.
Why were they not voting for Mario for Samus this whole time? Bit of a weird one. But before we move on from that, last prediction we have is Macro O-11 or II. I don't know if I said something in Leet speak, as the kids say back in the 90s. Who knows? On IGN says, personally, I'm hoping Link wins this. And I do think it's interesting. I do want to mention our initial face-off voting that determined this whole seeding before we actually got into the voting. Link was actually the number one seed. So Link, at least at the start of this, was number one in the face-off voting. Mario was number 2. Master Chief was actually number 13, and Doom Guy was number 22. But they've come quite a long way and are now the final four. Josh, as we move into this final four, how are you thinking things are going to go? Who do you think should move on? Who do you want to see move on?
Even though Mario, is the number 2 seed, he's won every round of this competition quite handily. The last round, he won maybe around 40% of the vote. Huge landslide there. I predict against Doom Guy another big victory here. But when you go against Link or Master Chief has a lot of Xbox support going on. I know Xbox has tweeted about this competition in the past, and they're really trying to build the campaign for Master Chief votes here. So I'm predicting a Mario versus Master Chief here.
Nice, I like that. Of course, we have to give credit to all four of these IPs and these franchises for how important they are just to gaming in general. Of course, you have Super Mario and Legend of Zelda, two of the biggest, if not biggest, Nintendo franchises around since the start of Nintendo. They essentially, made Nintendo's name with the original NES and have still been so important all throughout the years up to Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, of course. Then you also have to consider Halo, which made Xbox. Without Halo launching with the original Xbox, I don't think we'd still be talking about Xbox in the same way we are. And of course, Doom has had this resurgence recently with Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, but Doom is one of the foundational first-person shooters of all time, especially for modern shooters. And so it is really cool to see this Final Four represent so many important big franchises, even if 50% of it is Nintendo.
Totally. They are the top 4 for a reason. Let's see some results.
Now that we're moving into the top 4, it's important to note that the people moving on from this round, it is head-to-head, so it's not 2 characters moving on to the next round. It is 1 from each group, and those final 2 will be competing in the finals of our Power Ranking Face-Off vote. So, without further ado, let's jump into the first group of candidates and see who could be moving on. On the red side, we have Link and Master Chief. Josh, you were talking about this matchup a little before. Green versus green, I think we could see some surprising results here. Link, I think, would be the favorite given that he was the number 1 seed. But I think Master Chief could pull ahead, especially with Xbox's involvement in pushing fans toward this competition. I wouldn't be surprised if the Halo fan base came together and pushed Master Chief forward.
Yeah, totally. I think having Link and Mario in this is might split the vote a little. Oh, okay, that's close. It's closer than I expected. Most of these rounds have been at least like a 10% differential, but here Link has 52% of the vote and Master Chief has 47. About a 5% difference there.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible to see. Link will be, of course, the first one moving on, but this was extremely close, I thought, given Link's popularity. Since the start of this competition, we might see a little bit bigger of a gap, but you can't deny, especially with how big Breath of the Wild has been this generation, you can't deny the current modern love for Link, even though he doesn't say much. He's put out a lot of great games, and I think honestly, we might have been having a very different conversation if we were doing this poll after Halo Infinite came out, because I think a lot of people are looking for that to bring a resurgence back to Halo after Halo 5 Guardians had great multiplayer, but the single player wasn't as great as it's been before. We could have had a very different competition, but I'm not too surprised that Link is the one moving on.
But without further ado, let's go into the blue side. Mario versus Doom Guy. Jonathan, do you have any takes on this?
We were talking about it a little earlier. I gotta believe that Mario is going to be the one moving on. He's so iconic, and despite how much current love there is for Doom Guy, I feel like the overall love for Mario will likely push him ahead. I'd love to see an upset. I think that would make for a very interesting final round, but I have a feeling Mario might be the one moving on.
I'm predicting a landslide victory here, at least 70% of the vote, but let's see what happens. Okay.
Ooh.
It's closer than I expected. Mario got 59.9% of the votes. Doom Guy with 40%. Jonathan, any reactions from this?
We both were kind of expecting Mario to move on. I am surprised, honestly, it's that close. There's like a 20% difference, which is not a small amount. And I think that proves just how popular Doom Guy has really continued to become and how relevant he is right now. I think if we had done this poll, like I was saying with Master Chief after Halo Infinite, I think if we had done this poll, not even just before Doom Eternal, but before Doom 2016, I don't know if we'd even have Doom Guy in the Final Four, despite how beloved the original Dooms are. So I think that's a really, really strong showing, and that Doom Guy's support should not be ignored, because that is really impressive in this final round to get that many votes.
Yeah, Mario just feels like such an iconic character at this point. Matching anybody against him head to head seems like a total unfair advantage, but Doom Guy actually got 40% of the vote. It's not, he had a good showing, respects to Doom, respects to everybody at Bethesda. Good job, y'all.
And of course, we are going to be putting someone else against Mario for that final round of voting. But before we look at the final two candidates, let's remember those who didn't move on in our In Memoriam segment.
Aww. Welcome back. We had to shoot this part of the episode on a different day so Jonathan and I could react to the results live. Let's take a look at that final 1v1 matchup now. We are now in the finals. Mario versus Link, mano a mano. But first, let's take a look back and see their road that led them here to the finals. It's been a long road for Link in this competition. He was coming in at the #1 seed, and we started off with 64 characters. Now it's just 2. Jonathan, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's no shock that Link was not only the #1 seed, but just so prevalent throughout this tournament. He had a win-loss ratio of 0.87 in the initial face-off round, so he was nearly winning almost every match, which is very impressive. Obviously, Link hasn't had quite as many game appearances as Mario. I think Mario will be in whatever game Nintendo asks him. I assume they have to ask him personally if he'll be in a game. But he has been around for quite a long time, and so it's no surprise that even though he is a man of very, very few words and he obviously has made it through on the back of so many amazing, memorable games, all the way up to and including Breath of the Wild, which has been foundational for the Switch's success.
Yeah, even though Mario is number 2 seed, that does not make his chances of winning this whole thing any less. He's been in over 250 games. He's been around since 1981. Age, quantity are on his side.
Age quantity is always the number one metric by which I judge competitors in this tournament. I think, honestly, even though Mario was the number 2 seed overall at the beginning of this and had a slightly smaller win-loss ratio in the initial face-off voting, he had 0.84 compared to Link having 0.87 ratio. I do think Mario could be the winner here. Obviously, he has been, as you were mentioning, in a lot more games and is, as much as Link is beloved, especially to the IGN audience, I think there is a sort of monolithic Mario favoritism out there in terms of not just like the core gaming world, but people who play games for 5 minutes a week or 500 hours a week. Somehow they fit more hours in a week than exist. But I think Mario could come away here with the win, personally.
He is Nintendo's man, iconic character indeed, but before we look into the results, let's see them duke it out in Smash Bros. Ultimate, Computer Level 9, Final Destination, no items, 1 stock each. Let's watch.
3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, well, it's actually time to find out our winner, because though Mario may have won in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that's not how we're deciding this tournament. This tournament is, of course, based on your votes. So, the Power Ranking Face-Off 2020 Video Game Character Champion is... drumroll, please.
Oh, wow, that was like not as close as I expected. Mario takes it here with 61% of the vote. Ahead of Link by over, what is that? Over 100,000 votes. Mario takes this. The number 2 seed being the number 1 seed. Jonathan, what's your reaction here?
Pretty incredible. That is a large gap. I'm honestly surprised. I thought it might be a little closer right there at the end. But obviously, Mario, the far and away favorite according to these voting results. So congratulations to Mario. And in fact, to celebrate this win, we have here with us right now, live on the call, to accept this amazing victory, Mario himself.
Thank you. This is, obviously one of the greatest days of my entire life, by far. 100,000 votes over that other schmuck. I mean, he's just got no personality. Think about it. He doesn't even talk, the guy.
We have so many questions.
Yes, so many questions. Mario, you've been in over 250 games, been around since 1981, age and quantity won out in this tournament. What is your favorite game that you've been in?
Oh man, let's see. Smash is good because I can beat the hell out of that elf kid, for even pretending he stood a chance against me. I've been working from home for a couple weeks now. It's not easy. I'll be honest with you. You ever fix a toilet over Skype?
No,
I haven't.
Don't do it.
Do you just refix your own toilet over and over just to feel some satisfaction?
You put your hand in your own toilet and you tell the guy on the phone to put his hand in his toilet and you pull out different things. It's a big problem.
Wait, so you're putting your hand in the toilet? You're not using tools?
You never fix a toilet?
No, I just use a cleaning tools. I don't use my
Yeah,
hand.
you call a plumber. That's what you did today,
exactly.
right? So you call a plumber,
Yeah,
you're getting some plumbing advice today. That'll be $400.
I don't know if we have that in the budget. We did, however, in the budget have a trophy for you that you have at home. We were able to ship to you if you'd like to show the audience at home.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting this in the toilet and flushing it so it would show up in my toilet. I think that's a very wonderful way to send things. It's clean, it's efficient. I had my hand in there anyway. This is a beautiful trophy. This is This is where'd you guys get this? The dollar store? Well, you got no money over there? Unbelievable.
No.
In
We
this
can't even
economy-
pay you for this appearance.
Yeah, we can't.
Ridiculous.
This is for promotion. We're getting your name out there. I did want to ask, where are you thinking of putting that trophy in the castle?
I'm putting it back in the toilet.
I do want to ask because obviously, you do have what I assume is a self-made statue of Link behind there, the opponent you've beaten. Do you have anything nice you'd like to say about the loser in this competition?
Yeah.
Brutal.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, Mario, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on your win. Do you have anything to say to the fans at home before we wrap up about their support of you for all these years?
Don't try and fix your own toilet. It's just too difficult. You don't know what you're going to find in there. You give me a call. I'm at home all day. I'm on Zoom. I'm on Skype. I'm on Discord. Super Mario Brothers 1985. You look me up. I'll put my hand in the toilet for you. Maybe it'll come out the other side. You never know with those pipes, They go anywhere.
Number one plumber, number one video game character of all time, Mario himself.
Well, thank you, Mario, for joining us, and thank you, Josh, as well, for helping me run down this whole competition, and thank you to everyone who voted in the Power Ranking Face-Off through all of these weeks. We had a lot of polls going, and so many votes came in to show your support for your favorite characters of all time. And if you missed these polls, it may be too late for this competition, but please don't fear, because though we've reached the end of our Power Ranking Face-Off tournament, Power Ranking airs every week and is going to come back with a brand new episode next week as well, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, so you can tune in every week for new episodes of Power Ranking. We'll have more contentious, daring polls. We'll see who wins in future weeks to come. So please do your part and get yourself on all of these IGN platforms to get your votes in right now for the next poll. But of course, is there anyone who's missing from this entire bracket who you felt should have made it into the competition? Do you agree or disagree with the final results? Be sure to let us know in the comments, and as always, keep it locked to IGN.